Alright, so this is Samsung's Galaxy Buds Pro. I've had these for well over a month now, so it's time I give my review. I have the black version, and I do use a case. I use this speaking case. I'm not sure if it's the best idea. I scuffed it by accident, like the actual lid part, the first, the original case. So I figured I should probably put a case on it. It seems like it's kind of fragile. So yeah, I put a case on it. So, and also to note, I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know everything about audio, so my review may not be the best as far as the audio details and all that stuff, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, let's get on to the fit and design. Okay, so first I want to start out with the actual case itself. So I'm having some issues with it, some dislikes with it. So the first one is the hinge. The hinge to me seems very flimsy and very not stiff. So my issue is whenever I open up the buds and I go to take the buds out, sometimes if I have my finger in the wrong position, I push the lid ever so slightly, the lid would just close on me, and I'm just annoyed with it because it happens very often that it pisses me off. So yeah, that's one thing to note there. The hinge, I don't know if it's just my unit, if it's just like that, or if everyone else is like that too. But I don't know. I don't like the hinge. It's weird. The original buds had a pretty stiff hinge, and I like that because it kept the buds case lid open pretty easily. But the slightest push, the slightest nudge, it will cause the lid to close on the Galaxy Buds Pro so easily. Do not like that. And this next one is not the end of the world. Maybe it's just my fault and me not being smart. But whenever I put the buds in incorrectly, so the left one goes in the right slot and the right one goes in the left slot, they actually do connect and they start to charge. And I don't realize that I put them in wrong until I go to close the lid. And then the lid won't close properly. So I'm like, what the hell? So I have to take them out and put them in properly because otherwise it won't close. But the weird thing is that it just charges. So I don't notice it until I close it. And maybe it's just me being stupid. But yeah, I don't like that because it's weird. Versus the original buds, you can't mistake how they go in. So like in here, I don't know how I've mistaken it. I don't know if it's just me, but I've mistaken it where I put the wrong buds in the wrong part or in the wrong slot. So yeah, it's just weird, but not the end of the world. And then the actual outer casing, I already mentioned I already scuffed it. So maybe be wary of that. Wear a case like mine or put on a skin to protect it because you might end up damaging it pretty easily. So just something to be aware of. But otherwise, I do like the feel of it. It feels matte. It feels clean. The look is nice, and the squared off design of the volume was pretty good. I like that. Better than the oval weird shape that the original buds were. Just makes it seem a little smaller. Probably the same, volume that it takes up, but still makes it seem smaller. I like it. It's nice. The actual buds, though, this is where we have an issue. So the buds design. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm not a fan of the glossy finish to it. They should have just kept it matte like the Ultra, the S21 Ultra. I like that design. That matte black is pretty good. I like it. But this glossy, it's okay, I guess. I wish it was matte black, but it's whatever. But then the actual design of the buds, the way that goes in, there's no wingtips this time around. It's just a straight up design. So if it fits you, it fits you. Only thing you can change is the tips. And yeah, it's not the best fit in my opinion. I feel like they should have done so much better on this. I thought maybe they nailed it this time, but nah, not the best. So my issue is my right one fits perfectly. It's top notch. And then my left one, this one right here, it doesn't fit properly. It just after a while, I feel it starting to fall out. I can feel the sweat, starting to go in there and like start to make the bud to fall out, and it doesn't fall out, but it ruins it because it starts to let noise in, and so you can feel it, wanting to fall out, and it just ruins the experience. And I've tried different tips to see if it works, just like the ones that come in a box. The smaller ones cause it to hurt after a while, and then the big ones just don't make it any better at all. So yeah, I don't know if it's just my ear, but they don't fit me properly, especially the left side. So I'd be wary of that. They don't seem to fit properly to me. And the original buds fit perfectly on me, and these I'm having so many issues with. So it's something to be considered there. The design there, I don't think it's the best. And then the actual touchpad, I know you can block the touches, but you kind of want them there because you need them sometimes to skip tracks, double tap, skip a track, pause, play, answer calls, triple tap to go back a song, and then you can hold to turn on certain features, and you want them there. So like I don't want to block it, I want to keep them on there, and so I would hope that they would work pretty well. Yeah, they don't work as well as you think. So what would happen is I would have accidental touches when I don't want them to work, or I would try to use it and it wouldn't work. So I love them and freaking hate them at the same time. Like, I hate them so much sometimes. I'm running and my hood causes it to pause the music, and I have to go and unpause it, and I just freak out. So I double tap it or do something because it won't work. I'm just like, God, come on, I'm just trying to listen to music while running, and it's just, it pisses me off all the time. It pisses me off so much that, again, I hate it, but at the same time, they're kind of useful, so you need them to be unblocked. But yeah, I hate them. But yeah, now let's move on to like the audio, the actual audio of the buds. Okay, so as I already mentioned, I'm not an audiophile, so I'm not going to go into detail here as far as like the audio, the mids, the lows, and how they sound and whatnot. I'm just going to tell you, they sound pretty good. So for my genres, they all sound good. The hip hop, the pop, the rap, the whatever, all that sounds good. And I usually keep mine on bass boosted, so sounds pretty good to me. No complaints there on the audio. But where I will complain is the active noise canceling. I don't know if it's the best. I don't have other like buds or earbuds or headphones to compare it to. To me, it doesn't sound like the best. I can still hear stuff like loud noises. I can hear them. The treadmill when I'm running, I can hear it, clear as day. Other things I can hear. And it only seems to block out like heavy low sounds. Like that includes like, I don't know, the air conditioning or other stuff like that. Like I don't know, some of that. Air conditioning sound. That muffled sound. It would kind of block those out. But then, if you don't have anything playing, and you have active noise canceling on, it sounds like that's in your ear. I don't know if it's some weird feature going on, if that's the actual active noise canceling working, or if it's just something that's not supposed to happen. But it sounds like there's air conditioning or something like an airplane just in your ear when you don't have anything playing and you have active noise canceling on. And when that first happened, I was like, what? What's going on? So I would take the buds out, but nothing was happening. And then I'll put them back in, and it's the actual buds making the noise. And then I don't know why it's doing that, but it's really weird. And there's ambient noise. I forgot what it was called, but ambient noise. That is the opposite of active noise canceling, where it lets sound in so you can hear the environment. It's pretty good. It works. You have different levels. I don't recommend going super high on the levels because it might cause very loud noises, because there's like a little squeak that happens when you turn it on. It's weird. But yeah, otherwise, music sounds great when you have it on, or not great, but like, it's pretty balanced. I want you to hear outside and then, hear the music at the same time. But overall, audio is good, whether you have active noise canceling on or off. Probably wouldn't make much of a difference. You can probably buy a better pair of buds that'll have better active noise canceling, but audio seems good to me. Is it pro level? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna say maybe because I really don't know. But yeah, that's the audio. Let's move on to the features. All right. So as far as features, there's a ton here. Don't know if they're all super useful to you, but let's talk about them. So there's active noise canceling, like I mentioned, and an ambient sound. They're both okay, not the best, not pro level, but they're there. And there's also voice detect, which it works along with ambient noise. So basically, if you talk, it'll automatically turn on ambient noise because it thinks you're talking to someone else. I'll tell you, I use these for like a week and I turn it off because it's super annoying sometimes. It's picky. So say I'm running on the treadmill and I grunt or I cough or something like that, it'll pick that up and then it'll pause it, or not pause it, it'll just make, it'll lower the volume down on the music and then put in the ambient noise. And then I don't want that because I didn't mean to talk. I'm just grunting, I'm just coughing, I'm just making a noise and it thinks I'm talking. So it's annoying, so I just turn it off. Also, if you're going to sing along the music, yeah, turn it off because you're going to get annoyed with it. So I would recommend turning it off. Maybe in an ideal situation where you need that, it would be pretty useful. But otherwise, not super useful in most environments or in most situations. Another feature that they have on there is 360 audio. I didn't really use this one that much. It's there to create a 360 environment, to sound like the music or the video or whatever you're listening to is all around you. It's kind of gimmicky to me. I'm not going to use it. It scared me the first time I tried it because I thought that maybe my bud was broken because I was only hearing things from the right hand side. I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, it's not super useful. I don't know when you would really want to use this. It's there to try out. It's cool, but not super like useful as far as like the day-to-day use of it. And then there's also seamless transition. This is my favorite one. So being able to switch between your Samsung devices that are running One UI 3.1 is a blast. I love it. So say you're watching a video on a tablet, a Samsung tablet, say the Tab S7 or Tab S7 Plus. and then you want to listen to music on or decide, okay, it's time to listen to music on my phone. You put music on your phone, it'll automatically switch over to your phone. It's awesome. It's like the Apple thing. I think Apple does this, so I love it. It's amazing. I totally rate it. It's great. It sometimes doesn't work as you want it, because sometimes you want music in the background and video in the background, and the headphones switch to the device you don't want to switch to, and then you have to switch it manually. But it's okay because it's still a cool feature in the end. Are all these features pro though? Some are really not, and some aren't really. You could probably give more features for pro, but I don't know. I don't think it's worthy of the pro name, but that's my opinion. Let's move on to the battery life. So battery, I would say, is okay. It's not the best in the world, but it's also not terrible. So the battery life here, after maybe 40 minutes of running with active noise cancelling on high, I lose about roughly 5 to 10% of battery, which isn't really the best, but it's also not the worst. So, and it's also pretty easy to charge these, so I'm not gonna complain about that. But yeah, you get roughly maybe 4 hours, I would say, with active noise cancelling on high. If you turn that off, I'm sure you're gonna get way more. And then altogether with the case, I don't even know how many hours I got. I can tell you that I charged my devices, my buds here, probably after 3 days, 4 days, maybe a week pushing it if I didn't use them as often. But after a while, it's okay. You'll get used to that. I'm sure I used them maybe 2-3 hours during the day, but not that much. But yeah, charging, they give you some options here. So you have the actual cable back here that you can plug in, or you can wirelessly charge, which is what I prefer to do. So I just plop them on my wireless charger and charge them up, and boom, I'm pretty much settled. But overall, battery, I feel like it could be better, but it's also not the worst in the world, so it's okay. It's not bad. So let's move on now to my final verdict. Will you say yes? Well, you better say no, because these are not worth $200. A lot of things that are wrong with this. So the fit, unless they happen to fit you, and I don't know if you can try them before you buy them. If they fit you, maybe then, but even then, noise canceling isn't the best. Battery could be better, and then features, it's okay. But overall, I would say they're not worth it. So look around, do more research. You could probably find something better than $200 for these, and they're also not worthy of the pro name. Not worth it. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.